So as you more than likely know with ZBrush, the default material and color assignment is basically it's just going to choose whatever happens to be here. If I change these colors here, it will just change. If I change the materials here, it will change, because we haven't actually flooded it with anything. We haven't filled it with color, we haven't filled it with material. So it's just going to take whatever we have here and change. So if I want to start painting on this, if I turn on RGB with a standard brush, I'm going to turn off Z-add or Z-sub, and I start painting on this, you'll see that this happens to your screen and you get this kind of white fill around a weird looking thing, and it's basically just a display problem. As soon as I click and drag, you'll see that it'll update. What actually happened was ZBrush filled the whole object with white and then made your stroke. And you can see that that's what this poly paint information is. That's this painting. If I click this, it's going to turn it back off again, and it will revert to just choosing whatever color you happen to have chosen. If I turn it back on, we're going back to our poly painted data here. Because we filled it with white and we've painted a color, we can now change color and paint this with whatever other colors we have, and that will work fine. But you'll notice that the material, if I change the material will still change, because we haven't actually changed the material. We haven't flooded it with a material. So if we do choose a material to flood it with, let's say we take this startup material, we need to turn on M for material, and then go to a color document and say fill object, and that's going to fill this with that material. So now if I change material, nothing will happen. It will remain as it was. So that's basically this here. This colorizing is both material and poly painting. It's both of those together. That's effectively what's happening. So what happens if you want to keep the color but you want to change the material? You could go up here and change the material and then go back to your color menu and hit fill object, and then do that every single time you want to change the material. Or we can remove the material. So the way to remove it is to just click on here and choose flat color, and then we just go to color and fill it with that. We've effectively said fill it with flat color, in other words no material. So now it has no material, and as we change it will update to whatever we actually select. So we've effectively removed the material. So why is this handy and how can we use it? So here I have a sketch that I've been working on that's basically based on Nicola Saviori's work. You can check that out on ArtStation. I'll put the link into the description. He's an amazing artist and definitely worth checking out. So I was doing this sketch here, and as I'm doing it, I fill this with startup material for the hair. This is what is selected now. But when I do a render, I don't get the results that I'm looking for. So you can see while I'm getting the definition on the rest of the body, and I'm okay with that, this is giving me shadows that I don't particularly want. I want this to look as flat as it does over here. So you could paint this in Photoshop, absolutely. There's no reason not to do that. But if you wanted to do it in ZBrush and you didn't want that depth, you just wanted to remove this depth, obviously if I go back here and I choose flat color, that flat color hasn't been assigned to that. I still need to assign it. So I'll go to color, I'll make sure M is turned on, I'll go to color, I'll hit fill object. That's now removed that. So the next time we do a render, we get that nice flat look that I was going for. So from here we can bring it into Photoshop and then just manipulate that slightly. But if you ever do want a flat image like this, obviously because we fill this with the flat color, that will work as long as flat color is chosen. But if you change this back to any other material while you're working on something else, assigning a different material, it's going to be reassigned to this, because by virtue of assigning a flat color, we've basically said remove material and show whatever is shown here. So for your final render, you'll always have to go back to flat color if you want one area of your render to remain flat. Hope this tip helps, and as usual, don't forget to click like and subscribe. All right, bye.